So now we see about the two WRT cylinder using two 5x2 solenoid operated DCV. So this solenoid operated DCV can be used for actuating the WRT cylinder A, and this 5x2 solenoid operated DCV can be used to operate WRT cylinder B. So with the help of the FRL source, I am going to give the input source 5, here also 5, this port 2 and port 4 that can be connected with this WRT cylinder. This port 2 and this port 4 can be connected with this WRT cylinder. So next I go for the Electro Pneumatic trial kit connection. So I taken the power source normally open to the common terminal. So in that common terminal, so here having normally closed switch and normally open. So this normally closed switch can be connected with the positive source supply of the solenoid 1. So this can be, so this will be the normally closed one and this will normally open. So the positive power supply of the solenoid 1 can be connected with the normally closed and normally open. So how I can get this normally open, this one will be normally closed. So based upon that, I connected the rod end as well as the piston end. So the rod end we call this here A plus. The piston connection we call this here A minus. So this relay coil connection can be normally, so this relay coil connection can be normally closed and this relay coil connection is given to the normally open side. So from common terminal I am going to give the timer input. So once I get connected, I will then get the extension of cylinder A. Then after time delay, I will be able to get the extension of cylinder B. For that I need one timer. I go for the timer connection. So from common terminal to timer input. So this we call as a timer input. So after that this timer will produce one output. So that output can be, the timer one output can be given to the another common terminal. So from that I am going to take the another solenoid. So solenoid 2. So in that I taken the positive connection, that means red color wire. So this can be here piston end, this can be rod end. So this may be A B plus and B minus. So this will be the normally closed one and this will be the normally open one. So I icon the another relay model with that another relay coil. So this timer produce one output. After that I connected to the common terminal. Now you go for the extension of cylinder B. So after that I need another timer to get the retraction of either A minus or B minus. For that, so timer 2, it needs another one input. So that can be taken from the common terminal to the timer input. So this is the timer input. So this timer will produce one output. So that can be given to the either this coil positive or this coil positive. So if you want A minus, you go for giving this coil as a positive connection. If you want B minus, you go for this timer can be given to the this positive connection. Now you go for the A minus. So this output can be given to the, so this output can be given to the relay model 1, relay coil 1, positive. Okay. So after the timer output, again I go for another one timer for A minus to B minus time delay. So for that I go for the third timer. So this timer also need one input. So that input can be taken from the output of the second timer. So from timer on output, I am going to give this as another timer input. So from the third timer input, the timer will produce one output. So that output can be given to the relay coil, relay model 2, relay coil 1. To energize this, I will get the retraction of B minus. So next, for the timer board we need the positive and negative power supply. So this will be the positive and this will be the negative. So all the things can be interconnected. So I commonly give one positive and one negative power connection. So I go for positive power connection from the fuse. So this is a positive power supply from the fuse. Then one negative power supply from the negative source I given here plus negative. So I given the power supply to the timer board. Okay. So next only left out is, so this two negative connection as well as this solenoid negative connection as well as the two coil negative connection. So all the things can be interconnected. So I interconnected all the solenoid connection. And can be placed over the coil. So from that coil 1 to this coil I give interconnection. From that coil to I am going to give the main fuse. So all the negative can be interconnected. That means grounded. Now the circuit connection can be over. So I make all the positive as well as the negative connections. SPDT switch, lever operated switch, from normally open to the common terminal. So from the common terminal I taken the NC and NO, normally closed switch as well as normally open switch, that can be connected to the positive power supply of this solenoid 1. Okay. So next, from that common terminal I am going to give the timer 1 input. So this timer will produce one output. So that output can be given to the another common terminal. So from that common terminal relay model I taken the NC and NO, normally closed and normally open switch, to the another solenoid 2 positive supply. So both positive supply can be connected with the NC and NO. Okay. So same from the common terminal I am going to give the input for the another timer. So this another timer I am going to give the input from the common terminal to the timer 2 input. So this timer will produce one output. So that output can be given to the relay coil 1 to energizing and switch over power from normally closed to normally open. That means first I have the extension of A plus, I go for the retraction of A minus, so that I go for energizing this coil from the timer 2 output. So this timer need another one input. So from timer out 2 output I can be given as a timer 3 input. From that the timer 3 will produce one output. So that output can be used for energizing the relay model coil 1 energizing. So while energizing this, so power can be switched from normally closed to normally open. Previously it can be a B extension, now it can be energizing, we are able to get the B retraction. So I go for simulation of A plus, B plus, A minus and B minus with the help of the electro pneumatic trainer kit. So once I switch on that, so A plus will get extended. So timer 1 will get input. After some time, so LED indication able to get the B plus retraction. So after that same time we are able to get the timer 2 input. It will produce one output. That time we are able to get the retraction of A minus. Then here we will get the input. Here they will produce one output. So that will get the retraction of B minus. Okay. So once again repeat. So A plus, timer 1 will get the input, that will produce an output for the another extension of cylinder B. Next this timer will get the input, it will produce an output after some time delay. So it will get the retraction of A minus. Then this timer will get the input, so it will produce an output that will use for retraction of B minus. So this is a simulation of 2 double acting cylinder using 2 solenoid operated 5x2 DCV. So simulation of A plus, B plus, A minus and B minus using electro pneumatic trainer kit.